Hello folks, and welcome along to Wrestling Showdown Rewind here, of course, on the W3L network. And as I say every week, thank you so much for choosing to join me here this week, and thank you for having hit that subscribe button, which if you haven't, please do, because it means you'll be notified whenever we bring you anything at all here on the W3L network. And we are of course gearing up for a potential return to the live pro wrestling. It's going to be towards the end of the year. Everything is subject to change. Here are the dates that we currently have scheduled. Of course, these were planned for last year. They've been rescheduled multiple times, etc, etc. All original tickets do remain valid, however, so please keep hold of them if you bought them last year. And stay tuned to all of our social media platforms, and we'll tell you when we know exactly what is happening with live pro wrestling. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And when we are able to bring you live pro wrestling, Crafty Connoisseur will of course return as our live event sponsor. You should check out their newly rebranded website, check out their store. Not only do they have an amazing range of spirits, they've also got caps and face masks as well for sale. They also do virtual tastings and a whole bunch of other cool things. So go on to Crafty Connoisseur's website, make a purchase, tell them we said hello, and if you're making a purchase, buy a cool W3L t-shirt. There's loads of different designs, something that will suit you, I'm sure. Get one of those and then buy yourself a fan support package. These will not last much longer, these fan support packages. Prices begin at only a £5, and something that will suit every budget. These are the things you get. It just helps you help us to pay the bills that unfortunately we still need to pay, even though we can't bring you live pro wrestling. So if you are in a position to help us, please buy a fan support package. You can get that, t-shirts and DVDs all from our website. More on that later on. However, let's have some pro wrestling, because that's why you come along to Wrestling Showdown Rewind every single week. We continue to dip into the W3L archives. We are going to take you to another historic, never before seen match, because of course all the matches here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind haven't been seen since the day they took place. This is no exception. On one side of the ring is the one to watch, Nathan Reynolds. You know him, of course. He's a very popular star of W3L. But in his early days, he wasn't quite as popular. But he's taken a man who back then was quite popular. I'm talking about Brad Fusion, a man who still competes these days, albeit in a different country. So this is going to be quite the cracker. It's Nathan Reynolds, it's Brad Fusion. Who's going to win? Who can say? Let's get down to ringside and find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on Wrestling Showdown Rewind. We have a singles contest in May of 2008, and they are currently yelling at all and sundry is the one to watch, Nathan Reynolds, a man I'm sure you're very familiar with. Of course, he was last year, 3 weeks ago, challenging Mike Moose for the Heavyweight Championship, that match being from September of 2007. But this week he's got to face Brad Fusion, a man who kind of has almost been forgotten about in Scottish wrestling. We saw him in October of last year here on Rewind, taking on the Butcher Scott Rennick, that being a match from the June of 2007. And it was called a tie up, and neither man gets the advantage. You know, his arrogance shining through there. He was very self-centred back in his early days in the Worldwide Wrestling League, and Brad Fusion is not going to stand for it and just shoves down Reynolds. But Brad Fusion was a regular part of W3L in this era, sort of 2007-2008, and of course competed in the West of Scotland as well, but he did eventually leave wrestling, as we detailed in his last appearance last October, and he still wrestles nowadays. However, he's over in the United States of America. I think a lot of people have forgotten that Brad Fusion was actually involved in Scottish wrestling. It seems such a shame it's been forgotten about, so it's good that we can bring matches of his to you here on Rewind. He's decided he's had enough of waiting for Reynolds, who caught him with that stomp, but Fusion wisely got to the floor again. And we've seen wrestlers do that before. They chase, oh, and he slaps Reynolds. I was going to say often they chase somebody and then get cut off, but Fusion took the stomp and rolled out the way so Reynolds couldn't follow up, and then was able to slap Reynolds across the face. The last time we saw Reynolds here, again in that match against Mike Moose, he had Sarah with him at ringside, but he is solo in this contest. We'll see if that makes a difference or not. Brad Fusion firing up this audience. He's certainly got the ability. I think fans do like that as Reynolds hits that knee lift. But Fusion, a couple of ducks, and reverses the momentum, and a Fez press, trying to rain down punches, but Reynolds covering up. As I said before, when we last saw Brad Fusion, it was in a match in June of 2007. This is the May of 2008, this contest. And in between times, he was part of a three-way match at the inaugural Resolution event, September 2007. Of course, he's all waiting for a stunner, but Reynolds out the way. You can get Resolution on DVD, or of course you can watch it on the W3L box office. He's also held the Tag Team Championship, and one of the teams he defended it against contained Nathan Reynolds. So these two men have crossed paths here in the Worldwide Wrestling in some form or fashion, as Reynolds continues to stall on the floor. Fusion got annoyed at this earlier, and now he's gone after him. I think the fight's continuing on the floor. The referee having a hard job, and oh look, the referee's going after them. And Nathan Reynolds bounces off that table. They have gone round the building, out one door and in the other. Referee Clarence McAdle trying to get these men back into the ring. That's the only place the match can end. But Brad Fusion was not going to allow Reynolds to stall and dictate the pace. We saw that at the beginning of the match. He's gone after Reynolds and given him what for. And things firmly going the way of Brad Fusion. And look, he ties Reynolds, or at least hooks his arms to the bottom rope. On Fusion gets dropped, flapjacked onto the apron. He was turning up a head of steam to hit Reynolds. He was able to catch him with that move and dropping him down face first, and now throttling him on the floor. It's a no man's land out there, and the referee having a difficult time. He's trying to get them back into the ring. That's where the match is meant to be getting competed. And Fusion, who had the match going his way, now finds that he is on the back foot. Reynolds has turned things in his favour. That's the experience, edge that he has. And it's certainly a marginal amount as he rams Brad Fusion into the corner there. But I think arguably Reynolds has had the higher quality of matches. No offence to Brad Fusion as he gets launched across the ring. And Reynolds at the side backbreaker. Well, going for a cover. Is this going to wrap this one up? Nope, Brad Fusion's still able to kick out. Like I say, he still continues to wrestle to this day. He turned his hands to MMA. That became more of his focus, and applies a lot of that. Not so much in sort of 2008. Didn't use it a lot back then, but does now. As Reynolds, just another blatant choke, did that on the floor earlier. And Brad Fusion, who nowadays wrestles Calder McCall out in the west coast of the United States of America. I'm sure he still keeps tabs on W3L. Maybe he'll come back one day, who knows. He's sent across the ring, and another backbreaker. No, a side slam this time. Changing up his offense. And the arrogance of Reynolds, that horrible cover is lying on Brad Fusion. Don't know if he actually thought he was going to win the contest there. But you can bet Reynolds is frustrated because, of course, he's faced Fusion before, like I said, with the tag title on the line. And he had the match going his way as he just throttles yet again Brad Fusion by forcing him at that middle rope. And hang on, here comes Reynolds again. Crashes into him. But of course Fusion took him to task and they fought right round the building. And since Reynolds has turned the match back in his favour, he's been very vicious. That was the thing. I mean, of course Reynolds would obviously... wait, hang on. Go for yet another cover. Very close to the ropes, but Fusion able to kick out. Of course Reynolds would hold the heavyweight championship more than once, and would prove to be a heck of a talent. As he just caught Fusion. Don't know if he got all that close. It was enough to knock him down. I think that shows you how weakened Fusion is. But even though it didn't connect as crisply and as cleanly as Reynolds might have liked, it was enough to take Fusion off his feet. But Reynolds had a lot of arrogance, a lot of self-confidence, you might say, and the way he was yelling at the audience there, that is just giving Fusion moments to try and recover. Another backbreaker, holds on, converts it into a version of the bow and arrow, just stretching Brad Fusion across his knee. But Fusion trying to fight out, just trying to make some separation and get his breath back. Fusion's a very agile man, likes a quicker pace. See him do some nice high-flying things. And I think Reynolds knows it as he applies the bear hug. Of course, the problem here is that when you're worn down, you're automatically going to take large lungfuls of air to try, and keep going. But of course, in a bear hug, every time you breathe in, your opponent, Nathan Reynolds in this case, squeezes that bit harder. And of course, can use a handful of hair to cut off the momentum of Brad Fusion. Reynolds reapplying that bear hug, and like I said before, every time Fusion breathes in, Reynolds will squeeze tighter. So that means that Fusion has less option to breathe. It's harder for him to get lungfuls of oxygen because the space he's got is minimised. Reynolds Mikado just checking, see in case Fusion wants to submit. But he's still fighting these elbows, trying to break the grip, and he's done it. Oh, and he knew what was coming, just felt the fingertips in his hair. And that reversal of direction was all it took, and Reynolds with a low blow. Reynolds having no compunction to cheat at this stage in his career. Fusion, I think, thought he had him, was trying desperately to hit that German suplex. But Reynolds just fired his heel back and caught Fusion. Just runs into him with that knee. He could be primed for the pinning. But it's the one to watch who's just stalling, just taking his time. And this crowd do not like him, and he does not care either. But this is it, the match is going his way, and he's not following up with a pinfall. He's just giving Fusion time to recover, which is not a smart strategy. Reynolds trying to lift Fusion to his feet instead of going for a pin. That's an interesting strategy. And yet again applies the bear hug. He again tries to minimise the amount of oxygen that Brad Fusion get into his lungs. Referee just checking his arm. If it falls for a third time, this match will be over. No, not yet. Fusion's struggling to get breath into his body, but the adrenaline is beginning to surge. And again with these elbows to break the grip. Oh, and an Enzugiri. Maybe not so much of the Enzui element. I don't know if he caught Reynolds in the back of the head so much in the side of the face. But what a crack that made as he caught Reynolds in the face with that kick. Referee now applies the count. Both men are down. And this gives Fusion the chance to recover a little more. The count is getting high. Reynolds is up. Fusion barely up. Only ducked a clothesline and an arm drag. I think that was just desperation. But another one. Lovely drop kick. Where is he getting his agility from? That second wind, that burst of adrenaline coursing through his body. Reynolds low with a reversal. Wow! Handspring into the back elbow. Fusion using the ropes for added momentum. Grabs Reynolds and gets back to his feet. He's going for a vertical suplex. One hangs out to dry. Nice slingshot suplex. But the referee maybe slightly out of position. Reynolds a bit too fresh. A slingshot suplex. A move most synonymous with Van Hammer or Tully Blanchard, depending on how old you are. Butterflies those arms. There's a million moves you can do from here. Oh, like he's going for the merchandiser. More elbows. And Fusion with a stunner. He tried it earlier. Reynolds knew it and got out the way. Fusion hits that stunner. Down goes Reynolds. He's draped an arm. Referee's in position. And that's the 3 count. Brad Fusion finally was able to hit the stunner and gets the pinfall victory here this week on Wrestling Showdown Rewind.
A victory for Brad Fusion over Nathan Reynolds there, and of course just another dip into the archives, the extensive archives of the Worldwide Wrestling League. As I've said before, a lot of these matches were never really designed to be seen by you, the public. We recorded them for really just W3L's own benefit. We are able to bring them to you because frankly nobody else can. We've brought you something every single week of the pandemic, and we will continue to bring you footage every single week. Now hopefully later in the year we can bring you some live wrestling, because who doesn't want to see live wrestling again? These are the dates we currently have scheduled. All are subject to change due to government restrictions and the like. Stay tuned to our social media platforms and we'll tell you about them when we know for definite what is happening. All original tickets from last year do remain valid, so keep hold of them. Crafty Corner Surgo returns our live event sponsor. Make a purchase from their brand new website, tell them we said hello, and buy yourself a cool W3L t-shirt. There's some amazing designs, get one. Something will catch your eye, I'm sure. Also buy a fan support package. These are the prices. They begin at a £5. Those are all the cool things you get, and it just helps you help us until we're back up and running live. These will not last much longer, so get one before they're all gone. And of course buy DVDs, because who doesn't love a DVD? There's some amazing DVDs. You should check out the W3L box office as well. A lot of titles to watch via digital download. Keep checking on that. And then of course you can pick up those t-shirts, fan support packages and DVDs from our website, is W3LWrestling.com. Make your purchase and send to the mailing list while you are at it. Give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join us over on Instagram, and then of course use that hashtag. Tell us what you thought of Brad Fusion versus Nathan Reynolds game. Hopefully you subscribed to this channel, as I've said multiple times before, and then come back and join me next week here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind. I'm going to bring you something a bit different from the norm. I won't spoil it for you, but I think you'll find it quite interesting. So that'll be back here in 7 days' time for another edition of Wrestling Showdown Rewind.